Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Bib. I'm your host, Lisa Watkins, and I'm really glad that you're here, whether it's the middle of the day, middle of the night, or middle of the long run. However you're listening, I'm glad you chose to spend a little bit of time with me. Today's episode is one I've been really excited about because we're talking about one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, especially in the run community. That is run clubs. Specifically, these run clubs that are not intimidating, not pace-based, just people showing up, moving their bodies, maybe grabbing a drink afterwards. And today I am joined by Huntsville's running power couple, Jeff and Geri Plain, the duo behind Pub Run. And if you've ever wondered how a run club turns into your people, this conversation is for you. All right. Let me set up the conversation just a little bit. Run clubs can be a lot of things. They can be a training ground. They can have a social aspect to it. They can end up being the reason why you actually lace up on a day that you really didn't want to. And the best ones, they are welcoming. They meet you where you are. They remind you that running doesn't have to be serious to be meaningful. Pub Run is one of those clubs, the kind where the miles matter, but the relationships absolutely matter more. And today we're pulling back the curtain a little bit with Jeff and Geri Plain to see how they started it, how they grew it, and how folks are still showing up Wednesday after Wednesday for Huntsville Pub Run. So welcome Jeff and Geri Plain of Huntsville Pub Run to Behind the Bib, or welcome back to Behind the Bib, actually.
Thank you. It's fun being back.
Thanks, Lisa, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to both of you. How was your holidays?
They were good.
Yep. Too short, but perfect.
So we are talking about the run clubs as everybody's like getting out there, and I don't want to say resolution because I'm not a big resolution person. I don't think resolutions really last, but I do think that habits and community last. And especially when they're surrounded by community and encouraged by community, right? And so I thought, what better way to start off 2026 than to have Huntsville Pub Run back on to talk a little bit about your run club, about how it started, about your involvement in it, and how you guys make it so pace inclusive and so welcoming for everyone, regardless of pace and ability levels. So welcome back to Behind the Bib. Thank you so much for spending the afternoon with me.
Sure.
Okay, before we go into what Huntsville Pub Run is, introduce both of you. For folks that may not know who Jeff, there's two people out there that may not know you. That's probably it. But for those two people, introduce yourself.
Well, the prettiest one goes first.
Gosh.
Aww.
So I'm Geri Plain. Jeff and I are married. We are a couple, and we live in Huntsville, Alabama. When I'm not organizing run groups or directing races, I practice law and am a trial lawyer here in Huntsville.
Nice.
And I'm Jeff Plain, married to the lovely Geri, and retired in April of 2025. So that gives me more time to do fun things like pub runs and other activities. And just, life is good. We are looking forward to an exciting 2026.
Me too. Okay. Let's talk about Huntsville Pub Run for just a minute then. Well, not just a minute, because it's literally the reason why we're here. So let's talk about a little bit how you got started involved in the pub run, kind of what the mission is, who you serve, and really what makes it unique.
So the Huntsville Pub Run started in November of 2016. It was started by a local lady named Carrie Hawkins. Carrie is a phenomenal runner and even a more phenomenal person. She decided that she needed to get in some training runs and wanted people to do them. And she wanted to kind of combine her love of serving local businesses, primarily pubs, restaurants, breweries, with running. And so she launched the first pub run in November of 2016. I think we had between 20 and 30 people at that pub run. We have a picture of it. We post it every year. We've gone in and counted to see how many people were there. And, and as par for the course, it rocked on until COVID. And then, COVID hit. We took some time off. At that point, Jeff and I were leading the Huntsville Pub Run with about 4 other individuals. Took a step back when she had a baby, the year after the pub run started, and said, "Hey, I need help." So we were engaged at that point in 2020 with several other people. And then just life and things happened, and interests change, things change, jobs change, relationships change, everything changes. People move away. And post COVID, it was pretty much Jeff and I took it up. We didn't want to see it die during COVID times.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to shutter it. We weren't prepared for that. And, our mission for the Huntsville Pub Run is and has always been that everyone is welcome, regardless of pace, regardless of experience, regardless of what you do in life, of what you look like, of what you sound like. We want to make it inclusive for everyone to participate, but also, for everyone to engage. And we really make and try to make a conscious effort of, if there's someone there that we don't recognize or we think it's their first time, either Jeff or I try to go up and introduce ourselves, or we find other people within the group, maybe somebody around that same age, to go up and say, "Hey, you want to go introduce yourself?" Yeah, I just think that is very important for and should be important for every group. And I know that it is, but
Y'all do an
we don't.
awesome job, and I've seen you do that. Like, I have been at a pub run where you've said, if you're new here, or if you see somebody new here, go introduce yourself. I have seen you create that atmosphere. And because it's so hard being an individual walking up to a group of people that you're like, in your head, you're like, oh, these people have all been running together. What if I'm not fast enough? What if they all take off? What if they leave me? What if they, I don't think I'm the only one that has these kind of thoughts, or had these kind of thoughts when I started a new run club, because it's so intimidating, and y'all do such a good job of just making people feel welcome. And you have, you have everyone from walkers to ruckers to runners to speedy McSpeedsters even.
Yeah, we really do. And I think one of the things I've enjoyed the most, since the inception, gosh, it's hard to believe we're coming up on 10 years this year, but is to watch that evolve. When we initially started, I think the average age of the group was probably, I would say, late 30s to mid 50s.
Oh, interesting.
There were some younger people, but it was predominantly, I would say, that our group was that. And now, I mean, we bring in every demographic possible, but it's been so fun to watch, the young professionals get engaged and come. We've had people come
Literally
to the pub run, and they said, I moved to Huntsville 2 days ago, and I found you all on Reddit or on Instagram, and so I'm here. And, I had to look up and see what Reddit was, but I'm kidding. But,
that's funny.
It really has been fun and continues to be fun to watch that. And I don't think just Jeff and I can take credit for the inclusivity. It genuinely is the entire group. You and I have had this conversation, Lisa, on more than one occasion. I'm an introvert. It is very out of my comfort zone to walk up to a stranger. But because of that, I understand what someone is feeling the first time that they come by themselves to a run group that's as large as our group is. It can be overwhelming and it can be intimidating. And if me merely going up and introducing myself will make them feel more comfortable, I'm okay with being out of my comfort zone to do that.
That's what I think, that just speaks to the kind of leadership, though, that you have for the run club, for the pub run, because I don't know that everybody would do that, to purposefully get out of their comfort zone so that somebody else would feel better. And I think
that the cool thing that's developed, though, is the group of people are, for the most part, a very it's a very friendly group. And so although we do the best we can to engage the newer runners and engage all the runners or walkers or ruckers, it really, I think our runners also recognize when they see somebody new or somebody that's standing there on their own. And our experienced or people that have been with us for a while will personally go up and kind of introduce themselves, ask them if they have any questions, and get their names. And then, although I'm fortunate enough to meet most of them because I hand out the routes,
Yeah, true.
but people will literally, some of our runners will walk over and say, "Hey, this is so and so. It's their first time today."
Yeah.
So it's with 150, 200 plus people, it's impossible for us to engage with everyone in the short period of time before we run.
True statement.
Our runners pick up the slack.
True statement. Because that's literally like some 5Ks don't have as many runners as you have every Wednesday night. Yeah. Right. Speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about the logistics. I'm glad that you brought up that the pace, or not the pace sheets, but the route sheets, right? Let's talk a little bit about logistics. And if this is somebody's first pub run, tell them how, like, where they get the route, if you change locations every week, like what that rotation looks like. What can they expect? Assume that I'm brand new walking in and go ahead.
Well, yeah, hopefully, I mean, they're going to find us hopefully through any number of sources. Either somebody will invite them. They'll see us on the Huntsville Pub Run page, which was newly introduced in 2025, so that we could have a specific location just for pub run. So, it'd be easier for people to search and find us. Of course, the other sites that the other sites we typically share the events on a weekly basis would be, we run downtown Huntsville and run 256. And of course, Geri does our Instagram posts, since I'm not much of an Instagram person. And then we're very thankful to Will Nevin for the HuntsvilleRuns.com newsletter. Not only does that benefit us, but it also benefits all the other run clubs. And he does a phenomenal job with that. And a lot of people, that keeps a lot of people who aren't on social media informed. As far as the locations, it's an evolving equation as the size of the group changes, primarily gets larger. We have fewer and fewer locations that we feel we can actually, be there because of the size, especially in the colder weather months. So we have to be a little bit more selective when we go to fewer locations. For instance, for the first time ever, we're doing what we're calling a residency at Back 40 Beer Company for the month of January. So all of our pub runs in January will be at Back 40. It's the coldest part of our winter. Back 40 is literally the only location where people can be sure that because of the size of the facility, they can run and then go inside and be warm, as opposed to trying to stand outside with a purple cup and freezing to death.
True statement.
So we'll see how that works. My challenge is most pub runs around the country are at the same location each week. So I don't think that's an issue.
I don't think so
But since we're not, I want to keep it interesting. So we'll do a different route, even though it'll be at the same starting point. We will do a different route. It will be a lot similar, but I can guarantee there's going to be a few surprises throughout the month. So
a twist, maybe.
A twist. There you go. A twist maybe. And as far as the locations, we've been doing it for so long. We have an excellent relationship with the owners and managers of the facilities. It's something that I usually have planned out months in advance. So we're good to go. We always ask their permission and approval. We don't just show up unannounced, usually.
Yeah.
And then from there, obviously the routes some of them are tried and true. Some of them are brand new, just to keep it fresh and exciting. We do a 3-ish and a 5-ish mile route that gives somebody that maybe is newer or walking a chance to do the 3 mile, or maybe they just did an ultra marathon and they just want to get some simple miles in. And it's almost evenly split between 5 mile and 3 mile. And the important thing about the routes, and it's been We've had them since we started, but truly the difference between us and many of the other run groups around the country will be somebody can go at their own pace because they have turn-by-turn directions, either on the printed routes, on the GPX files that they can download to their watches, or on Run Go. And so therefore, they don't have to try, if they're a slower runner or a newer runner that's walking, they don't have to try to keep up with the people that are fast and in front.
True statement. And you don't have to worry about getting lost or left behind and not having the way back. That's one thing that I really like. I know we get the route, and every time if Cheryl is there, I love running with Cheryl. She's our navigator. So we each have our roles, right? And so if Cheryl's there, then she knows that she's got the route for us. And so then I can just relax, just run.
Right.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Do y'all have any cool things? I know, like, I participated in a lot of stuff that you guys put on last year. First of all, y'all do a fantastic job. It's not just a run club. Y'all do stuff all the time for different races and all kinds of stuff. But do you have, like, special events that you're planning, 10-year anniversary, maybe?
We will probably plan something for the 10-year anniversary for sure.
Sweet.
You know, the inflatables run is going to be an annual no-brainer thing. Who knew that people loved dressing up in inflatable costumes so much? But
That was
you
huge.
can't beat it. It's so fun.
It was.
Then we really haven't talked about a lot at the beginning of the year. Generally, as it starts getting, hot, we do a popsicle run or an ice pop run. We've got some things in the works that will be coming out as the year rolls on.
Yeah, we definitely have some tried and true, like over the holidays, of course, we had our holiday fireball run and of course the inflatable run and our Halloween run. So there's some things that, the one thing we missed last year, well, we had it last year, but is our Memorial Day Wednesday pub run picnic. And we did have it last year, and it's just, this year we'll probably be trying to figure out a solution because of the size about where we can possibly do that.
Yeah.
And there's a few new things that I've been mulling over for. Some of them are newer. Some of them I've been mulling over for probably a couple of years. And now that I have a little bit more time, I need to execute them. So that's I hope that we'll have a few new fun things. Some of them she doesn't even know about. I keep it up here so that way when I present it, she'll either tell me I'm crazy and don't do it, or she'll say, you're crazy, go ahead.
You're great. Hashtag Jerry Clifton.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's part of being married to an attorney.
True statement. True statement.
I'm really good at saying no, period.
No, period. No, that's not going to work. No. That's fantastic. I do remember we were there for the inflatables. That was the one that my mother-in-law had never seen an inflatable costume. And so when I had came in I think I had a unicorn, had like a My Little Pony unicorn type deal. She had never seen an inflatable costume. And so when I got it out to kind of try it on to make sure that like it fit and all the things, she was flabbergasted. She was like, "You're going to run in that? Other people run in that?" I'm like, not really run. You do like a 1 mile walk, but she talked for days afterwards. She was just like, because my husband brought her down there and to see like all of the different costumes and everything. And then last year you were on the news for the inflatable run. And then
We were.
this year y'all did a big thing for Rocket City Marathon, right?
We were. Yeah, the race manager reached out to us a few weeks before, maybe a month before, and she had seen the video and the photos from our pub run inflatable, and she asked whether we would be able to find enough volunteers to do one for the kids 1 mile fun run. And I said, well, that won't be a problem. So I think we had, and then the fun thing was, they weren't all pub runners. People that weren't pub runners saw that we were doing it. So they may not be able to make pub runs on Wednesday nights. So it gave them a chance to come and participate with us. And I don't know who had more fun, us or the kids or the parents of the kids. Yeah.
Right. It was fantastic. It really was. And y'all came in as sweepers. And so behind all of the kids, mean, I think that's going to be a yearly thing. Like if I was Rhonda or Eric, I would be hitting you up every year because I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So we talked a little bit about meetups. In the month of January, you're going to be meeting at Back 40. And then typically you post it out there on Facebook. And because you do an event, like you create an event on Facebook for every run. And then Instagram, I don't know if Instagram I don't think it pulls the event. It's just the post about it, right? Where to meet.
It's the post, but all of the information is within the post.
Yeah.
So, it still goes into all of the information. I don't think you can set up an event in Instagram, but it does give all of the information that it needs to. You just got to hang in and read it. So many people want to get those first 2 lines, and
statement.
So, but we try to keep it. Neither Jeff nor I use TikTok. Maybe one day we'll find somebody who wants to come in and do some TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah.
And do TikTok.
We also added, I don't know if you've been over there or not, but I also now do an event or a club event for the Huntsville Pub Run. So there's a group or a club on Strava for the Huntsville Pub Run. And so I started just out of curiosity. I'm like, well, this may be another way to reach the non-social media people because we know so many of our runners are on Strava and so many have joined the Pub Run group. So I started posting the runs there, and that has been extremely beneficial in multiple ways for us. So number one, it gets the word out. Strava is a little bit user friendly when it comes to putting links out there for the GPX files for those that like to download. Then the cool part for me, I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to spreadsheets and numbers and all that. But there's because we have a starting location, so everyone that posts a pub run or posts a run after the pub run, it indicates how many Strava users actually ran from the event.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a great way for me to go back through all of the individual users. And if I don't recognize somebody's name, I can actually click on them. And if I don't follow them, it gives me a chance to follow somebody that may have just joined us. And it also, if they have a photo, I can put a face with a name.
That's super helpful.
And so it's really, really helpful. We've seen a dramatic increase in the number of users from that participate in the pub runs that show up on Strava now.
Yeah. I know I joined the club and I can't remember. I'm not as good at doing Strava as I need to be, like tracking your gear and everything. And I know it's much more powerful than what I use it for, which is to automatically pull my Garmin route and put it on Strava.
Yes.
But I got a new Coros this year, so I'm going to be switching teams. I don't know if you've heard anything about what kind of watches y'all use, but I'm going to switch.
So
Go ahead.
We made the switch from Garmin to Coros. I made it probably 5 years ago.
Did you?
Jeff, maybe 2 years ago. And never thought I would cheat on Garmin ever.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll be honest, mine was a purchase after a long race up in the Northeast. And I was sitting by the pool and I saw that Molly Seidel, when she won the Olympics, I was like, she wears a Coros. If it's good enough for her, it's good enough for me. And so I ordered one right then. And I thought, this is probably going to go back because I've always been a Garmin girl. I've never looked back. I love it.
Really? I've heard so many more people saying that. And so I'm going to give it a try too, like the Coros. So my husband, he was so sweet. He bought the top of the line, and it's huge. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
I don't know. So I'm training it in for like the middle, like I'm a middle of the road kind of
You're
girl.
gonna get like the Pace 4 or something.
It's whatever. It tracks you in both hemispheres. You have access to all the different satellites. And I'm like, honey, I need it to do my route and to upload it to Strava. That's all I did. And for the battery life, I think is supposed to be better. So
it's so much better.
So much better. But ultimately, that was why I changed, because I was like her. I was a diehard Garmin user. Loved Garmin. I loved the stats. I loved everything about it.
Yeah.
Except for the battery. And after she got her Coros, and I saw her charging her watch like every 2 weeks or something, and I'm charging it like every 2 days. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yep. True statement. I've
Yeah.
gone through about 4 or 5 chargers, and so like, okay, it's time to go back to the
Actually,
drawing
my
board.
first Coros was a gift I got for her, and she didn't particularly like the color, so we got her another one with the color she liked, and instead of returning the one I had gotten her, I have it on my wrist.
Hey, look at that. Yeah, I know. I can't wait to get mine and take it out for a trial run. So speaking of trial runs, do you guys, let's one each, do you guys have any advice out there for folks that are thinking about taking up running or thinking about joining a run club or just any kind of life advice in general?
So my advice, 2 things really. If you are thinking of taking up running or if you are a new runner, first and foremost, no one is looking at you. That is, I think, especially Lisa, as females, that we're always like, oh, am I going to look
Yep.
silly? Am I
Yeah.
going to look ridiculous?
Sure.
Or how
Nice. Things
I don't fit in. I'm not the runner body type, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. No one cares. No
Nobody
one is
cares.
looking at you. Everybody is looking at either their route on which way to go or the road ahead of them.
Yep. 1000%. Yep.
Yep. Do not ever let that be an obstacle to getting out and doing anything that you want to do ever, whether it's running, whether it's applying for a job, anything. Just don't let that stand in your way. And then
That's a good one.
secondly, this is a common question that I see all the time on Facebook or other sites and things that I'm on is, I'm a new runner. What kind of shoes should I wear?
Yo.
So the kind of shoes you should wear are the shoes that fit your feet and that fit your stride and the way that you step. And that means that you need to go to a local running store here in Huntsville. We're blessed. We have 2. We have Fleet Feet and Running Lane. And let them fit you for shoes that fit you.
Yep.
Because otherwise, if you just look at somebody's shoes, and look, I do it all the time at pub runs. I see somebody with some
Dang,
really
those are
cool, pretty
nice.
shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, I really like those.
Yep.
And they're never going to work with me, ever.
True.
And so, if you are seriously considering running, even walking a lot, you don't have to be an Olympic runner. If you're considering getting out there and walking a few miles every week, do your body a favor and just go get fitted for shoes that work for you.
Yep. True statement. I think that's the number one piece of gear. And for ladies, followed shortly by a good sports bra. Good shoes, then a good sports bra. So, yeah, I agree with that 100%. Yeah. Jeff, what about you?
I guess the thing that stuck with me after, we both started running later in life. I ran when I was younger, but, found it back, and I think the important lesson I learned, especially as a former athlete, was don't compare yourself against the other people that are running. You don't compare your paces. Don't compare how you look to how they look. Just enjoy the initial journey. Go slow. Don't overdo it. Don't get injured. Find some joy in it. And then eventually, if you stick to it, you'll get faster. You may be running with those people that you looked up to and admired, in a very short period of time.
True statement.
But I think that, and then especially for the newer runners, especially anyone older like myself, pace is not important. Just get out there and do what you can do. And if it's a walk only, start walking. If it's a run walk, do that. Walk when you need to. And do not worry. Don't think I'm not going fast enough, because there is no fast. There's just that's relative to the individual and at the stage of running that they are.
True statement. There's always somebody faster, even Kipchoge, even depending on the day. Yeah. Run your own race.
Yeah.
Run your own run.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly with all of that. There's a reason why y'all are the leaders of one of the largest run clubs in Huntsville. Not one of, but the. So let's give people a rundown real quick of where they can find you on social? What's your Facebook? What's your Instagram? What's your the different places that they can find you and how they can find you?
On Facebook, it is Huntsville Pub Run. One thing about Jeff and I, we're not very creative people. Our Instagram, I think, is HSB Pub Runs or Pub Runners.
But
you can search by Huntsville Pub Run and it will come up.
Yeah, you're wearing the logo. So if folks see the logo,
right.
it's
right.
where you can
It's
see
got
it.
the very cool logo that was
Love that
designed
logo.
by one of our runners, Kevin Chambers, which we're so grateful for. It's Huntsville or HSV _pub _run. And the name is Huntsville Pub Runners. So that's on Instagram. Cool. If someone is listening and you don't do social media, it's fine. You can subscribe to huntsvilleruns.com. And every Sunday night, you will get an email newsletter in your inbox. And that will set out all of the group runs, not just ours, but all of the group runs in the area, along with some upcoming races and events, and usually some witty words of wisdom at the beginning. And so, all of our events are also found in that newsletter.
Yeah. Will does an amazing job on that newsletter. It's one of the few that I actually open and read beginning to end because it's usually so funny and just like heartfelt in a Will kind of way. It's just, I really enjoy getting it every Sunday night. So,
well, we're very thankful to Will. Will is our go-to guy. So when we happen to have a conflict and are out of town, which isn't often for the pub run, Will always steps up to take over for us. So we don't have to cancel. And he does the same thing for us on Sundays for the Rise and Shine Run. And so we certainly appreciate what Will does, not only for our groups, but then also for his groups as well. And so super good guy. And she mentioned Kevin. Kevin Chambers is our official clicker for the pub run, and he takes his job very seriously. He may be having a little sore thumb after some of these runs, but he does all of our graphics, and he's the one that created our logo. He didn't create, but he sourced the very cool back 40 video at the Sphere, which is currently posted for our events.
That was
and
so
which
cool.
we are not using for any form of profit.
Yes.
Geri,
there is no profit here.
Attorney?
It's just the loss.
Before we wrap up, you guys actually won a pretty big award this year. Did you not? I seem to have heard something about that.
We did.
I'm surprised you with this one.
There are not many things that render me speechless. I make a living by talking and by using my words, and I'm still speechless over this. Jeff and I did not even know. So we won the President's Award from the Huntsville Track Club. That award, I think I speak for Jeff when I say it does not belong to Jeff and Geri Plain. It belongs to every person who comes to the Huntsville Pub Run on Wednesday nights, whether you've been there 250 times or whether you've been there 25 times. It belongs to the group, because without them, there's no run. And, we're just there to facilitate a group run. But yes, we were very honored by the President's Award, and we thank the Huntsville Track Club and especially the outgoing president, Mika Anderson, who selected us for that award.
Yeah, we actually had no idea. I mean, no one told us in advance to be there because you're getting an award. And we had both been a little bit sick, so we weren't even, we were debating whether we should even go. And I'm so glad we did. But Mika's standing up there speaking so eloquently. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, who is she talking about?
These are great people.
I really had no clue. And then finally she said something. And I think at that point we both just turned and looked at each other, and it hit us, and then we got really emotional.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of any two more deserving people in the whole Huntsville community to receive that award. It was very much deserved. I know that
Thank you.
You tend to be very humble and you share the whole, all the accolades and everything, but really you'll show up week after week, Wednesday after Wednesday, all year long, no matter the the weather, if it's hot, if it's cold. I mean, you talk about safety, you keep people informed. Really, it's a lot that you guys do. And it's not just me that recognizes it. So thank you for offering everything that you offer for the Huntsville running community. Absolutely.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so with that, I'll say thank you to Jeff and Geri Plain. We will see y'all at the next Huntsville Pub Run in January at Back 40.
That's correct.
That's correct. Every Wednesday at 5:30.
Every Wednesday at 5:30. All right. Well, I will see you this Wednesday at 5:30.
Excellent. We look forward to it.
Okay. I'll see y'all later. Y'all take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, let's talk about some upcoming races here in Huntsville in our local area. On February 8th, we've got the Winter Winds 2 and 4 mile races sponsored by Huntsville Track Club. February 14th, we have the Fleet Feet Love to Run 5K and 1 mile fun run. And February 14th, we've also got the Carnival Frolic. Also, if you're listening and you have an upcoming race you'd like to have mentioned on the podcast, shoot me a DM on any of the social platforms or email me at lisa@BehindtheBibPodcast.com. I'm always happy to talk about having you on or having you mentioned on the podcast. Also, if you are interested in starting to run, in 2026, or if you're just looking to broaden your run tribe, the Huntsville Pub Run is a fantastic add to your weekly miles. I've been going for a couple of years now, and honestly, it's so welcoming and so supportive. Jeff and Geri Plain are hands down deserve that President's Award. I know they're very humble about it from the Huntsville Track Club. They do so much for our local run community, and they do show up week after week after week to host this wonderful run and all of the different activities that the Huntsville Pub Run does. So if you're unsure, if you're worried, if you think, you may be judged, or just listen to Geri's advice. Nobody is looking at you. We are all worried about our own selves and reading to make sure that we're taking the right turn, and nobody is looking at you. And you might find your next best friend, or you might make, I don't know, there's been lots of, other kinds of relationships that have started at the Huntsville Pub Runs. All of this is to say that the Huntsville Pub Run is a tremendous resource to our local run community. Jeff and Geri Plain do a fantastic job at making sure their run club stays pace inclusive, and welcoming to all kinds of walkers, ruckers, and runners out there. So if you're looking to expand your weekly miles and try new things in 2026, I suggest that you give Huntsville Pub Run a shot. And just like Jeff said, for the month of January, they're going to be meeting at Back 40 Brewing, and they're going to be changing up the routes. They always have a 3 mile and a 5 mile route as well, Wednesdays at 5:30. All right. Speaking of runs, if you guys haven't already signed up for the Fleet Feet Love to Run on Saturday, February 14th, head over there to Run Sign Up and sign up today. Right now, the registration is $35 for the 5K and $20 for the 1 mile. But if you send me a DM on any of my social platforms, or if you comment at the bottom of this podcast, if you comment love at the bottom of this podcast, I will send you a special discount code for the upcoming Fleet Feet Love to Run race on Saturday, February the 14th. So speaking of that Love to Run race, I'm also going to be hosting a panel of couples from each of the different Huntsville Run clubs, and in collaboration with this run. I'm so excited to talk to them about how running not only influences or enhances their lives, but enhances their relationships as well. We're going to be recording that episode down at Fitness 300. You heard Doc Porter talk about that gym that's connected to his functional chiropractic facility there. So I can't wait for that. That race is Saturday, February the 14th, the Valentine's Day. The 5K starts at 8 a.m. The 1 mile fun run starts at 9 a.m. just after the 5K finishes. It is a certified 5K course. And for the 1 mile fun run, all finishers get a ribbon. I don't know if that means all finishers of the 5K or the 1 mile fun run too, but I'm hoping that everybody for the 5K gets a medal too, because I love medals. All right. for that race. Packet pickup is going to be Friday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. out there at Fleet Feet Madison. And it's highly encouraged that you go over there and pick your packet up on the day, on the Friday before the race, because race morning is always busy. However, if you just can't make it, they do have packet pickup from 6:45 to 7:45 at the race site out there. So do me a favor, please. Do me a favor. Go out there right now and download this episode of Behind the Bib. Go follow Behind the Bib on Facebook and Instagram for updates on new episodes. And just new this year is all of the collaborations that I'm going to be doing with local businesses that are going to come with perks for Behind the Bib listeners. So I'm super excited about that. And the first perk is going to be a special discount code for this Love to Run run that's going to be out in Madison. So go out there, watch me do the like, follow, share thing on social media, and comment below, and I will send you a discount code for that Love to Run run that is coming up. All right, folks. So if you want to get those codes and keep up with all the collaborations that I'm doing in 2026, go out there, check out Behind the Bib Podcast on Instagram, Behind the Bib on Facebook, and Behind the Bib Podcast on YouTube. All right. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Let's keep showing up for one another, whether you are first, whether you are last, or somewhere in between. I'll see you next time. We're Behind the Bib. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.